The other day, we told you this story yesterday, and so some of you have heard it, and you will like it extra well today. But we want you to realize that you have beliefs that keep you from realizing your own desires. If you want something, and you believe that you don't have it, and you believe that it's hard to come, or you believe that you have to do things that you don't want to do in order to get it, you stand in the way of your own desire. And you have many beliefs that serve you really well, and a belief is only a thought you continue to think. It's only a thought that has enough momentum that now it's manifesting. So when you have a belief that opposes your desire cannot be realized by you. Your belief is holding you out of the receptive mode. So you continue to say, it's not coming, and that's true because you can't see it and no one else can. It's true in the physical manifested sense, but it's not true in the vibrational sense. It's not true in the what happens before it becomes vibrationally seen by you sense. And that's the thing that we want to make you aware of. So much of what you want is well underway, that because you can't see it yet with your physical senses, you decide that it isn't when it is. And that's where, more than faith and more than trust, we want you to understand the laws of the universe. We want you to understand what your inner being knows about that desire. We want you to understand how your inner being feels about that desire. And we want you to know by your emotions whether you are in agreement with the belief that your inner being has about your desires or whether you are not. And so in the short of it, when you feel negative emotion about something that you want, you don't believe as your inner being believes, and your belief about the thing you want is keeping you from being in the receptive mode where you can't see it. You can't get the clues. You can't follow the trail. You can't follow the path. It's not coming to you, not anytime soon, you see. So we like it when you have faith, but we'd rather that you just have knowledge of the laws of the universe and an understanding of how you feel when you are letting something in that you want and how you feel when you're not letting something in that you want, or how you feel when you're letting something in that you don't want, or how you feel when you're not letting something in that you don't want. You getting it? So a few days ago, Esther is at her makeup table getting dressed, putting her face on, as she says. Oh, ye of little face. So she has everything spread out, and she has a loose powder that's in a container. It's quite large. It's a black container, has a black lid on, and the lid screws and reveals the powder puff and the powder. So Esther is ready for it, and she picks up her powder, but it's only an empty lid. And she thinks, what happened to the powder? Where is it? She looks all around her table. Now her table is this big, this big. She looks everywhere on the table. What happened to my powder? So she goes and rifles through her suitcase. Maybe it came apart in the suitcase, which she is dreading because that means there's going to be a mess in there. Maybe I left it in San Diego at the last hotel. She's trying to rationalize why it isn't where it should be. So then, we inspired her to make her bed, to hang up her clothes, to put her shoes on, and then she went back to finish putting her face on. And she looked down, and there was the powder right next to the lid. It was right there. It wasn't more than 3 inches away. But her belief that it was in the container that it was always in was so strong that she could not see it where it really was. And if it hadn't happened to her, she would not know with the fervor that she knows it, how her own belief about something can keep her from seeing something that's right before her. You miss all kinds of clues that your inner being is giving you, leading you to that which will lead you to that, which will lead you to that, which will lead you to that, on this joyous journey of unfolding to everything that you want. But often, you can't see it right in front of your own face because you have beliefs that disallow it. Now, we know you've had these experiences. Esther couldn't find a pen one time. It was a beautiful golden pen. She looked and looked and looked for it. They had moved. She turned the house upside down. She opened every box. She dumped out all of her purses. She looked everywhere, and she decided that that pen was really lost. And then about a month later, she was looking for something else, a perfume sprayer, and she's reaching around, going through the same process, looking for something else, and came out with the pen. The pen that was in that bag all along, that she had searched through more than once. wanting so much to find it, but believing it was lost. And so you can't find what you believe is lost. And you can't experience what you believe is not possible. And you can't experience something that you want that you believe is hard, and you're not willing to do the hard thing that you believe it takes. You have so many beliefs. We love you so much. So many screwy beliefs. So many beliefs about what is, that you don't let what is in the process of becoming become. Because what is blocking for you what is becoming. So that's the essence of what the art of allowing is. The art of allowing is not being so activated about what is. It's about chilling. It's about cooling your jets. It's about kicking back a little bit. It's about not trying so hard to justify or validate your well-being through your hard work, which you resent. Because there are others who are obviously not working that hard who are thriving. It's about coming into awareness of the laws of the universe, and most important, about your guidance system and what it tells you, so that you can be more often in the receptive mode. So, just going to tell you a very fast beginning here. So, you've sifted through the contrast and you've launched rockets of desire, many of them, so many you cannot even count them. And some of them you would recognize because you remember the day that you asked for it. But many of them have matured into something even more than the pieces that you put there. In other words, you have a vibrational reality that you have created through the life that you have lived, and even before you came into this physical body, that in many cases is not recognizable to you in the detail that it holds. So since you can't see it yet, you can't know it with your physical senses, you have to feel your way to it. Which simply means when you're feeling happy, you're not blocking anything that's there. So you could have a whole lot of problems for which you're looking for a whole lot of solutions. And all of those solutions are there, but in your awareness of the problem, you can't find the solution, even though they're being revealed to you over and over and over and over and over again. So you have to be in the receptive mode. That's what step 3 is. Step 1 is you ask. Step 2 is source answers. The vortex is there. It's full of everything you want. Step 3 is you got to get in the receptive mode. We call that the allowing mode, the allowing of what you want to flow into your experience. So the way you accomplish the receptive mode is by being happy, by feeling good. But then you say, I can't feel good because of this. And we say, then you're not in the receptive mode. Then you are a vibrational match to the problem, not in the receptive mode for the solution. So that's what we talk about year after year, all day, every day. It's what we talk about in various ways to assist you in discovering for yourself why you can't see the damn powder. Why have I blocked it from my ability to realize that it's there? And you do those kinds of obvious things all the time, don't you? Haven't you looked and looked and looked for something, and there it is right there? Esther always blamed Jerry for that. You are moving things around just to mess with my mind. I know you are. And of course he never was. And now he's not in the house with her. She still blames him. I know you're moving this stuff around. Bring it back. Bring it back. So we just want to help you to realize first that everything that you want is unfolding for you. Jerry talked often about how great it would be to write a book, a very clear explanation of how thoughts turn to things. And we say, we want the book to be broader. We want to talk about how vibration turns into thoughts that you receive. And as you follow the trail of what you're receiving, then those thoughts turn to words and actions and experiences. In other words, that's just the way that it is. Yesterday, we were talking with a woman, and she was telling us about her wonderful life, and it is. And she was explaining to all of us that she was wanting $100,000 because she wanted to take a trip, a journey. And so we explained to her that she wants the manifestation before she starts her journey. But we wanted her to know she started the journey long before. In other words, there's a vibrational journey that will turn to the ideas, that will turn to the whatever, that will turn to the whatever, that will lead to the journey that she wants. But when you get fixated on something that you think you need, I need $100,000 before I can continue my journey. We just want you to realize you have been continuing the journey, and you must be aware of the journey before the money. Are you following? There's a vibrational journey that you must be aware of and you must be tending to. We're certain that once she gets that $100,000, she'll start making good plans. She'll start thinking about where she's going to go, and she'll budget her money well, and she'll make the best use of those resources. But most of you are not even coming close to making the best of the resources that are leading you to the 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 money. You want to leave all that part out. You just want to jump right to the money, then you'll plan your trip. And we want you to understand that the journey is long before the trip, and there is so much joy in the journey that led to the money. In fact, we are certain she will have much more joy in the journey that leads to the money than she will the trip she takes with the money after she gets the money. But most of you don't understand that. You think you can't start being happy till you get something that makes you really believe that now you can take the trip. And so that's really what we want to talk about. We want you to feel the realness of the vibrational journey that you're taking. We want you to revel in the things that are happening to you all day, every day, as you are guided to this and this and this and this and this. We want you to begin to be aware of how often you are being guided, and be proud of yourself when you are consciously aware that you are receiving the guidance. Because those kinds of things, if you will let it happen to you all day, every day, will cause you to feel, finally, a sense of worthiness, a sense of belongingness, a sense of being cared about, a sense of right place, right timeness that is necessary for you to accomplish before the beautiful life that you are wanting can be yours. You got to get in the receiving mode of it. It's nice to know. We'll just throw this in here, talk about it more all day. The way you establish your receiving mode is by what you're broadcasting. You can't be complaining about what is and be in the receiving mode of something better. You can't be complaining about people are behaving and be in the receiving mode of attracting people who behave more in the way you like it. In other words, what you're broadcasting through your words, through your thoughts, what you're broadcasting is what sets your vibration. It's how you practice your transmission, is how you practice your reception. Because when you set your tuner, that transmission and that reception have to be on the same wavelength, don't they? Got to set your radio dial on the same frequency that they're broadcasting from, or you're not going to get it. You, in this case, are the broadcaster and the receiver. You broadcast and receive and broadcast and receive and broadcast. So if you don't have enough money, don't have enough money, don't have enough money, don't have enough money, we're beating the drum, don't have enough money, don't have enough money, don't have enough money, don't have enough money. You know what you're in the receiving mode of? Not having enough money. Look at that person over there. They've got more than they need. They've got more than their fair share. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. You know what you're in the receiving mode of? That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. You have to look for the things that are working in order to help more things work in your experience. You can't look at the lack of what you want and be in the receptive mode of improvement. You can't be in the vibration of the problem, in the vibration of the question. Oh, I've got this question. I just can't get this question answered. I've got this question, this terrible question. I just can't get the answer to this question. That's right. You cannot get the answer to a question that feels like that. It's coming. Oh, the answers. The answers are piled upon you. The answers are piled and piled and piled and piled and piled and piled and piled on you. Piled on you. One day Esther came back from being gone for a while, and she picked her car up at the airport. And she had parked it with the nose sort of sticking out a little bit. It was a mini stories, and she was on the ground floor, and her nose was sticking out just a little bit. And when she got in her car, she looked, and it looked like a birthday cake of poop. It was bird poop. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. We're just dropping it on you all the time. We never stop. We never stop. We never stop. We never stop. We just never stop. We just never stop. We just never stop. Finally, it gets big enough you see it. We never stop revealing to you the answers that you're looking for. But you got to get in the receptive mode before you know. So, with that very profound demonstration, what do you want to talk about?